Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at Rise of the Powers of X, part of the Fall of the House of X, or Fall of X, whatever you want to call it, storyline. So this is the more complicated of the crossovers, etc. So first of all, we start our story with somebody peering into the past at young Moira, who is about to spawn her 10th plan when her X gene activates, and she's tied to time for all life. The creature goes back and sees a Jean Grey succumbing to the Phoenix's deal, and then that the devil part of it going off and killing millions, etc. Then we see a young Scott falling. Then we jump to what we consider now Cyclops thinking that Jean's going to rescue her, but in the meanwhile she is dying elsewhere. And then in a future there is X-Men fighting, but this Domino is struggling to see Charles Xavier. He sees Charles Xavier with his stepbrother. He then sees him when he was with Sinister looking for the Moira engine, and then he loses him. He cannot find him. So this is written by Kieron Gillen. B Silva is on the art. David Carell is on the colors. VC's Clayton Cowles is on the letters. Tom Muller and Jay Bowen are on design. The Rise of the Powers of X, Outer Space, Chapter 2. So in Nowhere, they're struggling to come up with this plan of when they go back to see Moira. So Xavier sort of told Rachel that he's going back to talk to this Moira, not kill her, not like the plan he discussed with Cypher. We've got the Domina, which is the target basically. So they got they want to stop the enigma from happening. They want to interfere with Moira before her powers happen. So Rachel team is trying to confirm that data, whilst Xavier goes back to kill her unbeknown to Rachel. There's a little time map and everybody who's included in this team. So we get this bit between Cypher and Righteous, where he basically insinuates, she's saying that I could be a real help, and he's saying that actually I can see that you're lying, etc. And he's a bit stern in how he speaks to her. He says, you're like a radio, etc. He also says something here which is really out of character, and we'll understand why it's out of character a little bit later in the story, where he says, why don't we shoot Moira when she is basically in the crib, on the ward, easily done, easily resolved, etc. So then Xavier says, Doug, don't say things like that. If we get her when she's 13, which seems to be the logical time of when her powers first activate, we can perhaps go back and talk to her. There is a reference here to Dead X-Men 1 and 2, which I haven't read yet, so I'm looking forward to read. I think that's only new issues that are coming out now. So there's another part where they are trying to create a team, but there are too many variables. There are too many long shots in this mission that they are trying to achieve. So we defer back to Mother Righteous in the White Hot Room, and this team is assembled with Hope leading it with a gun to her head, which is not surprising considering the fact that she stabbed Jean Grey or the Jean Grey in the White Hot Room to gain dominance of all species. Also, they refer to Cable's upbringing of Hope, which is really nice. She was brought up in the future. And the gun that she has created out of atoms is a 9mm that he first gave her. And then we got Jean Grey here saying now and forever, now and forever. And now we know that Immortal X-Men continues in some form in X-Men Forever, which I'm very excited for because I actually really did enjoy Immortal X-Men. So once again, we lose Cypher. We get a Cypher acting out of character. You know, and Xavier saying, don't bully her. Once again, we find that out, what happens, etc. So the team is ready, and the mission is seen to go. We then get Domino once again. He's moved forward, and he's dragged to light. And he realizes that Xavier has formed himself out of time and space in no place, but he has a way of achieving that. He has a fleet of destroyers throwing depth charges that have arachnid sentinels that will fall out of space spinning webs. Hence this great scene up here, which I guess happens at some point, maybe later in this series. We'll see more of that perhaps. And this is why I say this is the more complicated story, because it jumps from different time speeds throughout the whole thing. So we get a moment with Rasputin, 4 and Xavier, and they talk about if Moira is basically he tells her that, you know, Krakoa gave us, may have given us paradise, etc. But the timeline you grew up in, or was designed in, it gave you this hellish future, etc. So it's not all perfect, etc. And she knows that when Moira dies, so does that Krakoa Age as such. Okay, so there is an attack on No Place, and it is these sentinel creatures that have skulls for faces, and Rasputin 4 goes out to save the day. And this is where we learned the shocking truth that the Sinister in Immortal X-Men has been released into the body of Cypher and therefore existing. Hence some of the weird behavior, and also this interest in Rasputin 4 and perhaps her getting over what happened in that timeline in Sins of Sinister, etc. And you know, Xavier tells him stop playing games, etc. You know, we've got a mission here, etc. So Rasputin 4 needs help, and Doug Sinister certainly helps save that, etc. So she is brought back in the fold and safe, etc. And the mission is a go. Now, I thought literally the next page was going to be the end of the story. It is not the end of the story. So Rachel sends Xavier off. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Rachel sends Xavier off thinking that he's going to have a chat, not knowing that he is going to kill. But she wouldn't remember any of this. So I guess in some ways it doesn't matter. Moira in the now is Earth, the X-Men invasion. So I guess that is now, or is that the future battle? I can't remember. It gets a bit, this is where it's jumping around a little bit too much, that it gets a bit hazy. I feel like they just needed now there. I know sometimes I moan about, oh, why does it have to do that? But sometimes it is needed. So there's only going to be one winner with, you know, Moira joining the AIs. There was only going to be one winner. That's them, etc. Or is it? They don't win. The Domino wins. And he says, let's talk. That is the ending. So the Domino is making a major play into the universe now. This is the first time any sort of attempt to communicate has happened. So, and it almost looks like two eyes and maybe a little shiny nose or mouth. I'm not sure. But it is going to be interesting to how this works out. The other thing that baffles me is, I know there was a bit around the Phalanx in the original House of X, Powers of X. I don't feel like that. I mean, I know there was a bit in X Lives of Wolverine, Deaths of Wolverine, but was it really, truly completed, that storyline? I feel like there's an element there that could be revisited or mixed. Anyway, I've gone on a tangent. So, looking forward to the next issue, because I did enjoy that. Like I said, topsy-turvy at times, but it is an enjoyable read. I do enjoy these. I just have to probably think a lot more than when I'm reading the now storylines. And this has got a few moments in it that are different timelines, etc., just to waggle my way around. So anyway, fantastic book, fantastic issue. I'm looking forward to the next outing where is it going to be Let's Kill Moira, or is it going to be Moira Kill Xavier? Let's find out, because Domino has an agenda, and Domino will want Moira to succeed, because Moira succeeds, dominance still exceeds. Anyway, I hope you like my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking time to watch this. Thank you to those already subscribed to my channel. Make sure you look after yourself. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.